Okay guys, so we've learned how to actually display data from our database using Laravel. Now the next step is for us to look at a very important concept that we're going to be using in applications, and that is layouts. Okay, so let's say I want to display more data and I want to include Bootstrap. Okay, so I go ahead to the CDN to get Bootstrap and I get started and I go ahead and copy the Bootstrap link right here. So I copy that and I go back to my project and I need to use it on all my pages. What do I begin to do? I begin pasting it right here and I go to the next view, which is the new.blade.php, and I paste it right there. And I go to the to-dos and I paste it right there. So you begin to see if my application had 30 pages, which all are supposed to look the same, it's gonna take a while and it's gonna be really cumbersome to use one style sheet or multiple style sheets everywhere on each page. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing, since all of our pages look the same, we're gonna be creating a layout file. Okay, and this layout file is simply a general way that our application looks. Okay, so think of require.php that we used to do in procedural programming. Okay, we're going to be creating a layout file and each of our pages are going to inherit their general structure from this layout file. Okay, so right here I'll just go ahead and create layout.blade.php. okay, and I'll copy the general format of my page. So from here I'll copy the general format and I'll paste it in my layout.blade.php. so the general format is without any content. So the general format is without any content, and there we have our style sheet right there. We have our style sheet, we have our font and everything. Now we have a layout file. What we are going to be doing is yielding some content. Okay, so using Laravel Blade syntax, we have yield and we'll call content. Okay, so this yield statement simply says everything that comes in from any file that inherits this layout file should be put in right here. Okay, and this is how we are going to implement that in our todos.blade.php. We don't need all of this anymore. What we need to declare is say it extends our layout. So we'll say layout. Remember, the layout is right here in the same directory, so we say layout. Okay, the layout.blade.php. so we've said it extends that layout, so it means this layout.blade.php already exists for the todos.blade.php. now we're gonna say section and we're gonna say content and we're gonna say stop right there. Okay, now how does this work? Remember the yield that we said right here? So we yielded a contents section. Okay, and the todos.blade.php extends this layout and we are defining a content section. Okay, so what Blade is going to do, it's going to pick up everything in this content section and is going to our layout.blade.php, which our todos extends, and is going to inject it right there where we have the yield content. Okay, so this is our todo.blade.php. right here we're going to input how we want our content to be displayed, and it's simply going to be the for each that we had before. So for each todos as to do, and for each we're gonna display the to do. So we'll say to do, and we'll just add a horizontal line. Okay, so what we have done is look at how clean our todos.blade.php is. If we want to do exactly the same thing for our new.blade.php, what we're gonna do is simply extend that layout right here. So we'll extend the layout.blade.php page right there, and the next thing is to declare the contents. So we'll say section, and the name of that section is the content section right there. Okay, and we're gonna end the section right here. Okay, so we'll say stop, and right here we type in what we want to display. So we're gonna say right here in this section, simply type new page for us right there. So look at how clean our new.blade.php is. Now for our welcome.blade, we can do exactly the same thing. Okay, so these two pages extend that layout. Okay, so let's go ahead and visit these pages and see if anything is broken. So we'll head over back right here and we refresh. You see we have exactly the same thing. Okay, so if we look at the source code, we discover that this is the information that we had in our layout file, and this is the data that is displayed when we refresh. Okay, so the styling has changed a little because we included Bootstrap. Okay, so right there we discover that we have exactly the same thing. If we head over to our new.blade.php, which we get by visiting the /new route, we discover that we have some echo data. Let me go ahead and remove that in my pages controller, and we'll make this to return the view, and this view would be new. So if I refresh, we discover new page for us has been returned. Okay, and all the styling, if you look at the view page source, it's coming from our layout file. Okay, so how do layout files in Laravel work? First, we have our layout. We define how the page is gonna look, so the general layout for all our pages. Then we yield a section. Okay, so it's gonna inject right here the section for all the pages. So for our new.blade.php, we extend that layout, and then we define a section and we inject that data right there. For our to-dos, we extend the layout, now define a section called content that is going to be yielded, and we inject that data right there. Exact same thing if we wanted this for our welcome.blade.php. Okay, if we clean all of this up and we extend the layouts right here, and we say section, and we'll say the content section of that layout, and we'll say stop right here. Okay, so for this we want to have an h1 tag that says welcome to Laravel. So if we go ahead to that route, which is the /nothing route, we discover we have welcome to Laravel.